here we are, live streaming again at the African Leadership Academy, celebrating these young, amazing, they're shining a light all over the continent right now. Their achievements are beyond. And it is our duty. It is our duty to showcase them. It is our duty to appreciate them. And it is our duty to make sure that they feel welcomed and that this continent is where they can thrive and create even more jobs for those that need them. Behind me over here is an amazing setup. And I'm not sure if the camera can catch this, but if you just look around, we have students as musicians playing the piano, playing the drums, playing the saxophone, the beautiful setup over here. It's going to be an amazing night. And to keep this amazingness rolling, I would love to call upon another parent to come and bless us with her presence behind the camera. We want to find out from her if, Asha, please, kindly, ma'am, welcome to African Leadership Academy. How are you?
Karibu African Leadership Academy. Asante. Mimi naitwa Salmanu, mzazi wake na Asha Abbas, finalisti wa mwaka 2016. She said thank you, and her name is Salmanu, a parent of Asha Abbas, a finalist from 2016 and an ALA student.
Which is amazing. So Asha's mother comes from Tanzania, and she is speaking to us in Swahili, but we have a great translator who happens to be her daughter and a student here at the African Leadership Academy. She's a former Anzisha Prize winner. How blessed can we be? Kindly, ma'am, tell us about her experience, her business. How were you supportive to her as she ventured?
So, business yake na experience yake katika kuwa finalist wa Anzisha na mwanafunzi hapa. Kwa kweli nashukuru Mungu, Anzisha Prize imemfanya awe jasiri, imemfanya awe na impush kutoka hatua moja kwenda hatua nyingine, kwa kuwa biashara zake sasa zimepanda, alivyo na yeye vitu vili tofauti. Hapo LA pia naishukuru kumpa kipaji kufika hapa. Kwa hiyo yani nawapenda sana, sizidi ya sana kwa kumpa ujasiri mwanangu kuwa mfanyabiashara mdogo pia kuwa mfanyabiashara mkubwa wa Tanzania. Thank you. She said thank you so much to Anzisha Prize. Anzisha made her courageous, and it has pushed her from where she was up to where she is right now. And also thanks to ALA to having her grow from who she is as a person and making her enterprise grow bigger, and to empower her as a young entrepreneur and as she's growing up as an entrepreneur. Thank you so much. And she said, I love you so much.
We love our parents so much. I think there were so many thank yous that went around. I didn't get a thank you for them. Thank you for being here today. And thank you for taking the time to interview with us. Asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you so much. This is the 8th year that Anzisha is celebrating, bringing over like these amazing entrepreneurs down to South Africa. It's a sense of an incubation. We want them to believe in themselves. We empower them and teach them tools. We give them what it is that they might not have back at their home countries, back in their communities, and we do this because of this belief, right? We need to change the continent and have a positive impact on all of those that are involved with us. The pool of which they picked these 20 finalists from this year was a number of 632. Now, me being a person that's going through these applications 632 times, only looking for 20 catalysts, that's a job and a half. And sooner, better than later, we'll have the person in charge of bringing you these amazing entrepreneurs standing right next to me, so we can actually question her and ask her, how did she do it? What did they do? What was the secret? What was the ingredients that they put in there? We're going to go on to another interview, as we love our parents very dearly. We're going to bring on, I'll ask my assistant, Joy, to bring through some parents that we can interview. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Kindly, please do tell us your names.
I'm Chidilim Olobo.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. And you, sir?
I'm Mr. Vincent Olobo, the father of Ajiro, one of the finalists of Aziza last year.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So tell me, your child was a finalist last year.
Yeah.
So far, you're still here this year. What
Yeah.
brings you back to ALA?
Oh, if I want to say anything precisely, I will say thank you to Aziza, thank you to Africa Leadership. In fact, if there is anything I will say thank you again. Because they have made me proud. My son have made me proud. And Anzisha had made Africa proud. Because, you know, they have done so much to the youth, to grow the youth, to expand their horizon. And they are making it fine. I want to say my child is wonderful. And it is all, you know, the great work the leadership, Africa Leadership Academy has done. So that is wonderful, and I want to really thank them. I'm praying that the Lord will continue to strengthen them to do more for the youths that are coming, so that we have, you know, great men in Africa, because Africa is lacking great men. So we want great men, more great men, and Anzisha will do it. I mean, Africa Leadership will do it. So,
Wow.
Yeah. I want to say that I'm one of, if not the proudest parents today in Africa. Why? Because my son had made me great, and I'm here for the entire Africa to see. So, and that is wonderful.
That is amazing. There were so many great things that were said there and that were shared, broadening the horizon, being one of the proudest fathers on the continent. Now let's hear from a very proud mother. I'm going to ask you a question. What were some of the difficult moments with your son as he was growing up, before he became this amazing young man that he is?
Wow, thank you for that question. Actually, I mean, when he started, there were so many things. The first thing he started was when he was, immediately he finished his secondary school. He just secretly came to let us know that he was called for a modeling in a company in Nigeria back home. I was, wow, I don't know the kind of people you are mixing up with. At your age, going for modeling, I'm not interested, because actually we'll be trying to inculcate the ways of the Lord and teaching them to fear God. But when I saw, he said he's going, and I want to tell you, he went. Within a short time, people begin to tell us to look around, that his picture is one of the billboards along the road. I mean, that not alone, sometime he was coming from the school, because he later gained admission into university, and he was coming home one day, and he was a bit late, and he was robbed. The vehicle he was coming with, he was robbed, but as God may have it, people around, the police around, they rescued him, and he was taken care of. So there are so many things I cannot mention. But when the time came, he was coming here last year 2017. I wasn't around. I was away from the country. I was away from Nigeria, but he called me that he was to come here. I was also scared that, oh my goodness, you are going. Whom are you going with, and what are you going to do? But I just give glory to God, and for this African Leadership Academy, Anzisha, and all the staffs, every one of you, you are doing amazing. You are doing wonderful. And I pray that the Lord will keep you. There are so many young ones outside there. I wish, and I don't know how it will be possible, to get them exposed to this so that they will be carried along. And I want to say once again, thank you very much to every one of you. You are doing good and amazing. I mean, since I came in, I cannot share, I cannot tell enough what my eye has seen. And I say, may the Lord keep African Leadership Academy going, and going to where they wish to get to. Thank you very much.
That was really amazing. When we listened to the story of how this young man pursued modeling, and yet the community which he lived in kind of saw this as something that he could not achieve, and he made it onto a big billboard. His mother was able to see him, and still pursuing his dream. He was an Anzisha finalist, and here they are today for another year, celebrating other Anzisha finalists. Where else can you find this on the continent? Africa is a home. Africa is a beautiful place to be, and we keep on celebrating this. I'll have one last say for you, sir. Do you want to say something to us?
Yes, I want to use this opportunity to tell our parents that no matter what you think is good for your children, what is important is what your children can do better. Allow them, guide them, put them on the line. They will get to where they want to get to. You cannot restrict human being. You will only guide and instruct human being. And what God has put in them, let them exhibit it. No matter the constraint, it will come out and it will be better for them. With Anzisha, more children will be brought to the light line. And I know every other place will be brightened up with Africa Leadership Academy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any last words from you, ma'am?
I still want to say a big thank you. We've been taken care of in a good way, taking us around, the accommodation, amazing. And the premises of the school, amazing. I am happy, I'm grateful, and I say thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, there aren't enough thank yous to go around, but I can add in one more thank you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us and taking the time to express and tell your viewers out there exactly how you feel about your children. Thank you. Thank you both. So here's the last shot from the parents that we just interviewed recently. And we're doing great. It was an amazing interview. It's a great day to be on the continent. It's even better to interview this lovely young woman that's standing right next to me. She is from one of the media outlets that's going to be broadcasting some of what we're going to see later on tonight. Kindly, would you introduce yourself to everyone that's out there with a big, amazing, great smile?
Hi, my name is Sita from Channel Africa.
Lovely. Sita from Channel Africa. Tell us, from your experience in media, have you ever been to such an event where they bring Africans from all over the continent into one place and celebrate them?
No, it's normally fun events. That is why I find this event to be very important and very significant as it promotes youth entrepreneurship, because we're from a society that teaches us more about going to school, getting qualifications, and getting a job. This opens up a platform to say that we can actually be creators of those jobs instead of relying on getting a CV and going to apply. So it basically opens our minds up and allows us to think out of the box other than just getting a job.
Definitely, that's really amazing. I'd like you to kind of tell the viewers out there, what does Channel Africa do? What are you about? And why did you choose to come to this event specifically?
Channel Africa is an SABC radio platform, one of the 19 SABC radio stations that focuses on promoting Africa, be it African music, businesses in Africa and all of that. So our relevance here is that we're trying to say to Africans that let us wake up and try to create wealth for ourselves. It's not enough to be complaining about our past, but I think it's very critical that at this point we move ahead of that and create opportunities for ourselves. So that's what the platform is all about.
Definitely. I mean, we can't be like strung on to the past, holding on to those shackles. We got to free ourselves. We can free ourselves in very different means, and through Channel Africa, through broadcasting this event, I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be reached out there. Those that are at home, on your couch, those that are in the auditorium, those that are in Mauritius, those that are in Rwanda, we appreciate everything that you do. And having people such as Sita here today means a lot towards what we're trying to achieve here on the continent.
Yeah.
Any final words from your end? What are you expecting to see? Do you have a favorite Anzisha finalist, perhaps?
My final words is that stay tuned to Channel Africa, DSTV Bouquet 802. That's where we will be broadcasting the event live. For all the viewers who are not here, just if you can just carry on listening to Channel Africa. Yes.
All right, there you have it, straight from Channel Africa. Stay tuned, and they're going to be broadcasting live as we move on further throughout the night. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks a lot. Cool, thanks.
All the best. Next thing, we are going to interview one of the finalists. I am really excited about this finalist. I had the privilege to sit in on an afternoon where she spoke to some of our students here at the African Leadership Academy. What she had to say was so moving. When it comes to failure, there's no better way to fail fast and to fail forward than this young finalist right here. Ma'am, kindly do join me. To all those viewers out there, tell them your name.
My name is Amanda Jojo. I'm from South Africa and I own a coffee shop in Midrand.
So, Amanda, tell us more about what it is that you do for a living.
So I suffered a lot from depression, and when I was going through it, the only way I could cope was just drinking tea and coffee. So I thought, okay, why don't I just sit down, start this amazing coffee shop where people who are suffering from mental issues can come and feel at peace, because the place is very generic, it's very tranquil. So that's what I wanted from the people in the community as well, to work on that.
That's really amazing. It's that double-edged sword, right? Killing two birds with one stone. You're not just there for coffee. You can also alleviate yourself from whatever depression or anxiety that you're feeling. So what's the secret, the magic in the coffee?
The magic is not in the coffee, actually. It's with the people that serve it. So you need to serve it with love. You need to care about somebody. You need to ask how was their day. Start a conversation, because you can't go to a Starbucks and expect somebody to have a conversation with you. So that's what we're really, really trying to promote, is care for each and everyone. Be kind to everybody. Love everybody.
That's really amazing. I couldn't feel even more the spirit of Ubuntu right now. It's not about the coffee, right? What is it about? It's about how you serve this coffee, customer care, your well-being. That simple question, how are you, goes a long way. Tell us about your journey. How did you find it coming to ALA, and what do you think of this place?
I'm so surprised that I actually stay in Midrand, but I never knew about LA. This place is amazing, and I've learned so much that I'm so excited to go back and just tell people about it. I mean, come, just visit for a day. Ask to visit, and you just walk around. You feel that Africa is in a move, and we want to join in the conversation. We want to join in the movement.
It is. It's a great day and age to be alive, and even better, to be alive on the African continent. Here you have it. I want you to say a few last words, and this one goes out to everyone that was young, just like you, before your idea resonated into something tangible. What was your drive, and how would you have them stick to their passion?
Okay, I'm so glad you spoke about passion, because I read an article where it says whenever you're faced with a choice, always choose in favor of your passions. So that's what I want them to take home, is always choose your passion and be bold. Go for it and start now, because there's never a right time.
That's really amazing. Your passion takes you places, and if you don't start now, then you're not doing it at all. I guess can we add one last question? I'm sure you're all noticing out there the amazing colors that she's wearing, the attire. I don't know if we can capture that, if we can really look at her. Wow, it's really amazing. So how did you come up with this outfit? Is this another potential business?
No, it's not a business, but I am Xhosa originally, so I try to mix it with a bit of Xhosa and Zulu, of course. So it's just me identifying myself. Who am I? Where do I come from? Thank you.
Well, we couldn't thank her enough for her time, and we hope that you win something tonight.
I hope so. Well, I'm already a winner just by being here.
Wow, that's awesome. She's already a winner. I'm a winner in her presence. So it's a double win for both of us. And it's a win for the continent.
Yes, Africa, Amanda.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to the audience out there. Really appreciate it. And all the best of luck for tonight. Great pleasure. You know, one thing that we haven't been able to do so far is actually read some of the tweets that are out there. There's a lot of people that are looking at us in social media and saying, what's going on here? We have something from Satoshi. Parents are so proud, man. That's amazing. The parents are proud. You're absolutely right. As I'm scrolling down even further, it's like, have you tuned into the Anzisha Prize live? Do it if you haven't yet. That's something that we tweeted, but there's even more. There's pictures from yesterday that were tweeted, but we're looking at some of the tweets from today. Tune into the Anzisha live ceremony. Curious to know who's going to take first place, aren't you? I want to know too, who's going to take first place? Channel Africa. Well, we're looking at an 8:30. We're going to speak to Josh. Yeah, Josh Adler. Josh Adler, the VP of Global Programs, is going to be on Channel Africa at 8:30. And they're going to be talking Anzisha Prize, people. That's exactly what we're here to celebrate today. African leaders that are out there on the continent. If you're young, if you're tuned into this live stream, you're bold, you're passionate, you have interest on developing yourself, developing the continent, developing others, we're here for you. We are a place that you can come to and feel at home. Excuse the pun. This is my home. Going through next, I'd love to call on the next person to interview. I'm going to take a few steps across and interview this amazing woman. Kindly do tell the audience out there your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Bita Diomonde. I'm from Côte d'Ivoire.
And tell us, Côte d'Ivoire is further up north on the continent. What brings you all the way down south?
Wow, well, I've been following Anzisha for quite a while and hearing about all the good work of ALA. So I was quite honored actually to be asked to come and judge the Anzisha Prize. Yeah.
One of the judges from the Anzisha Prize, I want to ask her one question, because I read a couple of profiles and all of these judges are affluent people that have achieved great things, started businesses, are founders of businesses. What was your drive before you founded your company?
I've always been super passionate about creating opportunities for others. I always felt I was very privileged. And I come from a family where my father was the only one who went to school. And I saw the difference between my life and some of my family members. And so I always knew that I had to do work and create jobs for other people.
There's nothing more appreciative of life when you start creating means for other people and enabling them to achieve their dreams too. So what is your passion right now? What occupies most of your time?
I'm very passionate about building ecosystems within Africa, but when I mean that is how do we go about supporting our small and medium enterprises? Because these are the backbones of our economies. These are the ones that are going to be hiring all the youth that we need to be really employing at this moment. And I really believe in the SMEs because these are people who, despite all odds, are still existing. They've created businesses without capital. Well, they've created with their own capital, but they haven't fundraised most of the time. They've been largely ignored. They don't have access to loans, and they're still there, and they're still hiring people. So with my organization, I've co-founded an organization with a great team, and what we do is we basically create digital platforms to support SME growth on the continent.
That's really awesome. A lot of small and medium enterprises that have been, contributing significantly to our GDP. And as you just mentioned, that employment, right? Giving people those jobs and that opportunity to kind of have something in their pockets as you move forward. As you are here today, is there one of these young entrepreneurs that has really, really touched you? Someone that you want to stay in contact with without being biased? I'm sorry.
I cannot give a name. My honest opinion is every single one of them was so impressive, and it was such a tough decision to make, honestly. I spent all day today wishing that every single one of them could have won. But, like we've said, everybody here is a winner. And again, I'm so honored to have met every single one of them and the great people of ALA And yeah, I'm just very happy to be here.
That's awesome. Everyone is a winner. The last message for our audience out there. If there was a young person just like you, right, that saw how education was so pivotal in Africa, what would you want them to know right now?
I would say that education is very important, but the most important part of education is really learning to grasp it for yourself and challenging everything you learn at the end of the day, because it's true we can learn a lot. It's important to have that skill set, but the most important skill set you're ever going to have is learning to think for yourself, challenging the status quo and doing something about it.
Thank you so much for your time. And everyone is a winner. Key takeaways from what she had just mentioned as one of the judges is, channeling that education for yourself. A strong belief in being an autodidactic, a critical thinker, an enabler, right? And always believe that you're a winner and you can win. We're going to try and look out for some more tweets if we can see what people are saying out there about the Anzisha Prize. But as the camera is just panning around and looking at these surroundings, we can just see how amazing this place is looking. It's filling up. We have amazing keys being played there by one of our students here. Just the setup in itself, right? The food, the company, the talk, everyone is talking about how we can shine this torch and let this torch shine very bright, because it's all of us, right? It takes all of us to enact, to impact. It's not done in isolation. And together we have come here tonight to celebrate these amazing young African leaders. We've brought in leaders from Libya, we've brought in leaders from Cameroon, from Angola, from South Africa, and every single one of them is doing something different, is doing something significant. And that is the impact that we appreciate so much, and hence we want to celebrate. I promised you earlier on that we would get some of the most important people, the most important figures, those that brought those 632, well, those that brought the 20 of the 622 right here live to us at ALA. And I'd like to invite one of my colleagues to kindly come and talk to us here tonight. How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well. I'm very happy to be here today.
It's great to see you. You look amazing, by the way. For our amazing audience out there, some of them might not know you. Kindly, some of them might not know you. Would you mind introducing yourself to them?
So hi. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Natsuno, and I work for Anzisha Prize. Especially, I'm managing all the support program for entrepreneurs. So I run the boot camp, for example, this time, and I'm basically working directly with amazing 100 entrepreneurs who are in our community. Yeah, that's what I do.
Right? She's very important, by the way. If you're a young entrepreneur out there on the continent, you should try and look her up. You don't want to give them your Facebook account. No, I'm joking. But tell us some of the challenges which you guys faced this year. I understand that it's a new philosophy, your approach to attracting these young leaders. What was that process like?
So I think the process was more solid than any previous years, I think. For example, so previously we did phone interviews. We went through all the application forms, and then this year, particularly the finalists had to work on some assignments. And some pre-boot camp learning was mandatory for the finalists. I think they did a really, really good job, in doing that. And another sort of key, not really the challenge, but one thing that I really I can talk about would be the due diligence process. Okay. So this year, I'm very, very personally happy that there's Muhammad from Libya, who actually came to South Africa and joined our camp. But his due diligence is a little bit complicated because of the situation in the country. So nobody could actually go to Libya to do the due diligence, unfortunately. So I tried to look for somebody who can actually do the due diligence in the country. In the end, it worked out, but the situation was not really difficult. And I'm really happy that Muhammad came here because he really deserves it, I think. He really deserves it. Yeah, what he's doing is really amazing. So he really.
That's really awesome. As you can hear, the due diligence process is very hands-on. They really wanted to have that face-to-face interaction with every finalist, but the situation in Libya just could not afford that. As much as they did all the groundwork to try and find someone, they are super grateful that he was able to make it. Looking at tonight, looking at when you started planning this, right? I'm sure you're using some sort of a planner as a software. What would you say to that software today?
Sorry?
What would you say to your planner today when you're looking at the entire planning of this event, coming to where we are today? What would you say to that software?
it's pretty amazing. It's actually beyond my expectation. But again, I think it's very important to acknowledge the hard work that young entrepreneurs are putting like on day-to-day life. So the community, going to bring the real transformation, not the foreigners, not the aid workers, not the UN, not nobody, but the young people from communities. So I really want to encourage everyone to actually continue. Maybe it may seem to be a little bit difficult, but like I really want to see them next year and the year after and so on. Yeah. So
That was a really amazing message. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. There you got it. Like it's gonna take us working from within, and not anything or anyone really coming from outside to assist us in achieving what it is that we really want for the continent. So we gotta keep dreaming big. We gotta keep believing in what it is that we're doing here, and we hope that everyone that's watching this right now, this live stream, is also appreciative of the mere fact that we wouldn't be here without you being there as well, right? This live stream is for you. It's because of your interests, because of you wanting to see what it is that we're doing here, that we're able to provide such services. So thank you. Thank you, Major. I would like to ask Karen, who are we interviewing next? And I have a very young, charming young man. Please do join me. How are you, sir?
I'm good and you. I'm good and you.
Good, thanks. Kindly, for our audience out there, would you just introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
All right, my name is Shoni Kwele, and I'm a director of 2 companies and 1 NPO.
Wow. 2 companies.
Yes.
Do you have 2 lives?
2 lives.
So he's a director of 2 companies. He's very young. He's exactly what it is that we look for. Tell me something. When did you start envisioning yourself as not just the owner of 1 company, but the owner of 2 companies?
Well, I think since I've always been young, I've had entrepreneurial skills, and I've always wanted to be out there and help and create and change. And I started making the difference in myself when I was 18, 19 with action. Because you can always have these goals, but necessarily they won't come by until you take action for those goals. And that's when I started carving myself in the direction of trying to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to be a business owner, not because the title, but because of the importance of change that a business person has. The importance of the ripple effect of generations that one person can affect in all the families. And that's the role that I wanted to play in the whole African globalization.
That's really amazing. You know, talking about impact, talking about change, and talking about not wanting to do this because of ownership, but wanting to have that ripple effect, right? From generation to generation, passing it on. Who would be best positioned than this young man standing right next to me right now? So where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years?
Whoa, in the next 5 years, I think I've got every step planned. In the next 5 years, I don't know if you're talking about economically, socially.
Give us anything that resonates in you in the next 5 years.
Well, I have a 3-year plan. I'll give you the 3-year plan. I'm 20 years right now. My 3-year plan is when I'm 23. It's a dream. So this is what I dream about every single night before I go to sleep. And that's me waking up and then taking my drive to my offices, which is a big warehouse because we're a logistics company. So we'd have warehouses and employing a good 200 nationwide. 200 employees more nationwide. And the ripple effect of, in 3 years, I want to be a certified entrepreneur that is making a difference, putting an impact economically, socially. And that's why at the age of 20, the company, as the director, we created the NPO called Avion Foundation. So the foundation of our company was that because from a young age, we don't want to be about profits, but about change. And that's where because in our generation, we get so lost in looking at other people's lives on social media that you want to be them. You know, we have all our celebrities that are giving the wrong message to kids at a young age. The right message should be to search within yourself to make something. So in the next 3 to 5 years, I hope and I dream to be what I'm trying to be right now, which is a certified businessman who's making a difference in hundreds of lives and families, and helping each and every family put their kids into school, who then can put their kids into school and into school. My companies, we are family companies. So as a young company, we try to strive of, since we're youth company, we have a long-term relationship effect.
That's amazing.
We want to grow with our workers. I want to grow with my stakeholders, my workers, my employers, my investors. We want to grow, build Africa into what it's supposed to be.
That's really amazing. You know, there's so much that's been said here. There's so much content. There's so much innovation and creativity, and the impact towards creating that long-lasting change is what he's talking about right now. Running his logistics company, employing over 200 people countrywide, that's a major, major achievement. Tell us some of the platforms that have recognized you.
Some of the platforms that have recognized me. So platforms as in like organizations?
Organizations, places where you've been invited to talk, share your experience, like Anzisha itself.
All right, so Anzisha is actually the first ever function I've ever come to. I'm actually here because I got an interview called Parenting the Boss. And basically it's about a book of a son, an entrepreneurial, and their parents, and how they control each other, you know? So I haven't been to much branding and I've been out there much, but that's because I've been creating the company. And now I've decided to take myself and put myself out there to actually inspire others. I've been recognized quite in a few places with the Umbrella Black. That's where I'm currently also being put in, which is also something run by Cyril Ramaphosa. His little organization for other young youthful entrepreneurs and other black entrepreneurs like me that are trying to make a difference, that give it's a non-financial aid. So it's more business functionality, help, and although they become your big brothers in corporate. So I haven't done much branding for myself yet, but this is my journey. So it's so humbling to start my journey off here at Anzisha, because I did not know about this, but I feel like the footprints of entrepreneurship for our country should start here. And
that's amazing.
I'm surprised I did not hear about this anytime sooner.
Yeah. Well, on my end, it's a great privilege to be talking with you. Thank you for coming out to ALA. Thank you for choosing the Anzisha Prize as a place where you're officially launching yourself and being out there for the very first time. It's been an amazing chat. I hope that those that are looking at this, watching you back home, are inspired as well, right? And I want to ask, give us a last message, a last say. What did you want to share with those that are out there?
What I'd like to share with those out there is what I like to tell most people. It's the smallest information, but it took me a valuable way, and that's to seek information. So if there's any other people that are full of ideas and full of all these great things, and you feel like you don't know where to take it, usually there is someone out there and some organizations that are willing to listen to you and give you the fundamental steps, like Anzisha. People would never get to what they want until they seek information. Information is the only way for us to grow. So that's my best advice to give to people, is that whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, before you even want to look and go there, find out what you have in there. Find out who can help you there, and then you can follow it.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone out there was paying close attention, especially the young, the youth. You're the future of this continent, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you. All the best. We're live streaming straight from ALA, the Anzisha Prize. Amazing band playing. I've been interviewing some really amazing people as well. We just had one of the judges that was on here. We also had one of the, the team members from the Anzisha team telling us about their challenges, their experiences, everything that they went through as they were trying to gather and bring together and put this event out there, broadcast this live for everyone that's willing, anyone that's able, anyone that is seeking to be inspired, seeking and looking for change. This is the place for you to be. And I hope that you're tuned in. ALU, Rwanda, Mauritius, and everybody else on the African continent. There is no better place to be in Africa than where we are right now. I'm going to walk over and interview a few other amazing individuals that have been blessed to be here, and we're blessed to interview them. Gentlemen, how are you tonight? Right next to me here, we have a former ALA student. He's made history. He's shaken hands with people that we all aspire to shake hands with. Bradley Opere, kindly, how have you been? Where have you been?
I've been underground. I've just been out, working like every other young person and getting more skills so that I can impact the continent just a little bit more than I could before. Yeah.
Just so I can go around and introduce everybody else at the table. Frank Aswani, how are you tonight?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Tell us, same question, where have you been?
I've been running across Africa, solving problems.
And we hope that those problems have been solved. Hence, you're here. We're really, really blessed to have you. And lastly, the Dean of the African Leadership Academy, Dean Hatem, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. This is one of my favorite nights of the year, so very happy, excited, fulfilled. Yeah, I'm doing very well.
I mean, it's really amazing that what Africa is looking for, what Africa is seeking, can be found in such a hidden community, a hidden gem almost. Tell me, how do you look outwards? How do you attract people to this place?
I think nights like tonight are really important in our efforts to attract the continent's most promising young talent to ALA. I think the vision of the people who are driving the Anzisha Prize is that if you can celebrate young people who are already making an effort to transform their communities by using entrepreneurship, it'll be like a beacon on the hill, right? The city, the lighted city on the hill. Other young people around the continent will see that, feel inspired. Perhaps they'll pursue entrepreneurship themselves, and maybe some of them will choose to apply to ALA. And the secret won't stay a secret for too long.
Lovely, thanks. Thanks for sharing that. Taking off from what Dean Hatem just said, in the spirit of celebration, you've seen us celebrate these young African leaders over the years. Is there something that stands out to you, something that's different from the previous years to tonight?
I think it's fascinating. I'm really glad to see how many girls are present as well. I mean, we're always trying to make sure that we are giving equal opportunity to both male and female entrepreneurs. So it's really exciting to see the number of women who are present today.
And lastly, before I leave the table, Bradley Opere, tell us, for those young African leaders that are out there, those that are dying to walk in some of your footsteps, what's the best advice you could give them?
Find Dean Hatem as your teacher. You'll be good. I guess, just believe in yourself. Try find good mentors. Stick with them. Stick through some of the hard times, and you'll get your big break one day or the next. Yeah.
Cool. Gentlemen, thank you very much for sharing, and do enjoy the rest of your evening. There you have it. Dean Hatem, Frank Aswani, and Bradley Opere. Amazing people that have been able to bless us here this evening. For those that are watching that know these individuals, we know how capable they are. What we don't know is the reasons why they do it. But we'll be able to see on that stage behind this camera later on tonight just a little bit of that reason. Why is it that we choose to celebrate African leaders? Next, I'd love to call on a very important man, someone that does not like to be in front of the camera, but for tonight we have asked him to bless us with his presence here tonight. He goes by the name of Josh Adler. Josh, please do kindly come into frame. How are you this evening?
Fine, and you and Kimber. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for being here. So, looking at Anzisha, you've been working Anzisha for many, many years now.
I have.
What was your new approach to seeking out these African leaders, seeking out these entrepreneurs? What did you do different this time?
This year we had what we call a bias for action. So I think we now know the difference between someone who has had a great idea and maybe just started to someone who's like really into their business and has taken all the necessary steps to say, I've got something going here that's viable for the situation I'm in and it could grow. So I think every single one of the 20 that you're going to see here tonight, even if they started quite recently, they're in it, they're serious about it, and they've made a choice to be an entrepreneur. It's almost like a career decision. This is what they want to do, and we want to celebrate them.
That's amazing. And we know that the pool was a number of over 632 applicants, and you only picked 20 finalists. What were some of those criteria? Like, what stood out the most in those 20?
So we have our formal criteria, which are things like relevance. Are you doing something that's relevant to the country or the circumstance you're from? Then there's things like, can it scale? And can it scale with our help, which is really important. There's some people who either don't need or don't want some help, but you need to be willing to work with us so we can help you grow. And I think that the most important criteria for me personally, because we are a leadership institution, is leadership potential. Is this someone who other people will follow? Can they lead the way in the sense that if they are a few steps ahead of other young people who are teenagers now and they're in their early 20s, can they go, you know what, I can be like that guy or that girl, and not only can I be like them, I can be better than them, and I'm going to start now myself. So we need that sort of leadership potential and storytelling.
That's awesome. Now, to kind of hover over the Anzisha week, the days that these amazing entrepreneurs are here with us, tell us, what is it that you really take them through? Just an overview. So what does a day one and a day two look like in their case?
Great. So this is one of, I think, it's the toughest acceleration programs, certainly in the continent. Not because of maybe some academic content or something, but because of how different all the fellows are. So we have to get people who are at completely different levels of schooling and experience, different socioeconomic backgrounds, to the same place within 10 days. We hire a full-time translation team. So if you don't speak English and you speak French, you can do this whole program in 10 days in French and then decide to pitch either in French or in English or with support. So it's this sort of, I think it's real pressure to say, how do I embrace this diversity with this support system and then take this all in so that I can take it back home? I think a day-to-day experience it's all the leadership stuff that we do at African Leadership Academy that we're now famous for. We start the morning with an assembly, where we share a story, and then there are two tracks. There's the leadership track, which is about soft skills and ensuring that they can be all they can be in terms of their leadership potential. And then there's the hard skills. So, for example, I took the finance stuff, ensuring that they understood their business and their money. Others took other parts, marketing, human capital, and other things.
That's great. There you have it, like a really robust, fluid experience, right? And it's not really on the academics. It's about getting to know this individual and how can we best work them and enable them. Josh, if there's a young person, possibly when you were younger, that's dreaming about changing the continent, being an innovative individual that will have that impact on people's lives, who would that person be? Do you have a vision for some of these people? Do you have a profile of what they look like? Would you mind sharing that?
Thank you. That's a great question. And my answer is a team player. And the reason I say that is there aren't enough jobs. And if you're going to start something of meaning today and you're not going to do it in a way that takes other people with you, you're irrelevant. So if you're a young person out there today, I want you to do two things. I want you to start now and I want you to take others with you. And if you do that, we'll be okay.
That's really great. There you have it from Josh Adler. Before I ask him for his last takeaway statement, you need to take others with you. That's really important. And you need to start early, I guess. What's your final say for everyone that's out there that's watching us from the ALU, that's watching us in Rwanda, that's watching us in Mauritius? What do you want them to hear?
I want people to embrace this idea of the Anzisha effect, right? Which is that if we can create a big enough network of really young people leading the way, and more people come behind them, we can really be the front of the war against unemployment. We face a crisis, and people keep waiting for someone to solve it for them. I think if we rally behind an idea like Anzisha, which is to initiate, to start now, to get going, and young people take control for themselves, that's what I want people to do. And we're here to help. Not only us, MasterCard Foundation, and many other organizations under the same banner. So good luck to you all. Get in touch, reach out, and become an Anzisha Prize winner.
That's really awesome. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the rest of the night.
I will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You know, I'm almost lost for words. When we look at entrepreneurship, when we look at people in general, trying to solve an issue, right? There are many, many problems that we experience in life, but who is actually deliberate about changing that, right? Creating that positive change, and not just allowing that change to be beneficial to you as an individual, but as Josh Adler just said, he wants a team player, right? Someone that's able to take others with, and someone that's really willing to start now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been such an amazing evening. People are flowing in. There are more and more guests that are coming. I'm gonna look for another person that I would love to interview, perhaps someone from the Anzisha team. But if you could just follow me, and we can just look around and hover for a bit, all in the hopes of finding someone that we could interview. Awesome. I see a great people standing right in front of us here. I'm gonna try and get an interview. Hi, how are you this evening? Yes, how are you, sir? Kindly, would you mind introducing yourself? Just look into that lens over there. Okay. Africa's watching you, no pressure.
Hi, my name's Amasi Mwela. I'm the CEO of a company called Fundi.
Lovely. And you, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Vivian Onano.
And kindly, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm a youth advisor to UNESCO.
Lovely. So what brings you both to this place today?
So I came to see what some of the work that the African Leadership Academy is doing. So obviously we share an industry, we're in the same industry, we're all trying to forward the cause of education, and we just came to support the event. So well organized, very great bunch of people that work here, and we just came to support the event that they're having today.
That's really awesome. We're always happy to welcome our guests, open our doors to the public. Ma'am, I don't know if you guys share the same background. What brings you here?
I am part of the family, so I'm just home.
Ah, welcome home. I'm also a part of the family. Are we like long distant cousins, perhaps? Which is really great. Tell me, are there any highlights for you tonight? Is there something that you're really looking forward to seeing, or a person, or something that you want to hear?
This is my third time coming to the Anzisha Prize Awards, so I'm just excited to see the new innovations, see what other young Africans are doing, and just being in this environment itself is just an inspiration, so I'm excited to be here.
Anything that you're looking for today specifically? Are you potentially looking at hiring some of these individuals, or taking their business even further?
Yeah. Look, I mean, talent is always something that's important, especially for the continent. So we'll see what we find. I mean, there's always somebody that you bump into that always has an impression on you. So we'll see what happens.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you both for taking the time to talk to us. Really appreciate it. And do enjoy the rest of your evening. As we are live stream here at the Anzisha Gala, we're hovering around and talking to people that are very influential, people that have taken the time to come and be a part of, as the young woman just said, be a part of the family, right? We are all a part of this huge family tree. And as every branch moves left, right, center, what brings us together right now, or what's brought us together tonight, are these finalists. We want to celebrate these Anzisha finalists, and we want their businesses to thrive. We want them to grow and to help the continent. We're going to move on and look for some more people to interview. So we're going to hover a bit this way. Let's see who we can find. There's a lovely group here. I'm going to move around this way. I want to come in on her. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Could you kindly tell everyone your name, where you're from, and what you do?
My name is Kofi Aswan. I am a program manager at the MasterCard Foundation.
That's lovely. For those that didn't hear, he's the program manager at MasterCard Foundation. So this event, everything that we're seeing here, is a vision which you have possibly been a team member of. Tell us, why does MasterCard Foundation pay so much attention, so much closeness, so precise, so much rigor in the continent and these young leaders?
Well, this year, after 10 years, we just came up with a new strategy for the foundation, which is called Young Africa Works. And as you can see by the name of it, young people are at the center of our strategy and is at the center of everything that we do at the foundation. So such an event celebrating young entrepreneurs to us is critical to showcase the potential of young people on the continent, but also to recognize the tremendous participation in solving solutions in the community across the continent. So for us, this is just an honor to be part of this engagement.
Which is really, really amazing. As a partner with Anzisha, give us a little brief of how long this partnership has existed for, and what is the main reason why you could have partnered with any other institution, right? But why Anzisha?
Well, this partnership started in 2008, and we are going very strong. We have learned a lot. The reason why we partner with the African Leadership Academy. No, it's okay.
Foundation and Anzisha?
Yes, the relationship has been great. The past 2 years, the past 8 years, as an institution, as a foundation, we have learned and grown together. At the beginning of Anzisha prize, it was just a prize. You give a prize to youth, and then you say goodbye, basically. But now, in 2018.
This brighter day that we see, which is the future of Africa, the future of our continent. We need you. Always say is that there is never a better place or a more beautiful environment to be in than the African continent. All the guests have moved inside. As you can see behind me now, people are quieting down because the night that we've all been waiting for is about to take shape. We're about to see the bigger picture here. These 20 finalists. Prizes will be handed out tonight. Some will win thousands of dollars. some will go home empty-handed. But as you've heard from a lot of the people that I've interviewed tonight, everyone is a winner. And with that mindset, we believe that having them here, bringing them down to South Africa, taking them through this fast-track course, right, accelerated program, enabling them to better their businesses is ideal. And they're leaving with a lot more than they came with. Imagine an empty suitcase. I want you to imagine the same empty suitcase, but the only difference is the person that's carrying that suitcase has a full brain. He's been pushed to capacity. He's been worked hard over the past 2 place here, the African Leadership Academy, going through the curriculum, working hard. As Josh Adler said, it's not about having this, intellectual, educational background. It's more about your ability, how willing you are to be a team worker. How can you allow others to shape and mold you as you go through this journey? It is such a great privilege to be here tonight. My audience out there, I think you guys have been amazing. I can hear you. I can hear you wanting more and more, and I am going to give you more. Soon we're going to be crossing over to the live stream inside of our venue for the official opening of the gala. But as you can see, as we're looking around, as we're panning again, seeing the music being disconnected, we had a nice live band from students here at ALA who were playing amazingly throughout the hour. And we were very privileged to have interviews with many, many people as well. Some from the Anzisha team, the last person that I interviewed, Kofi, who is the manager of MasterCard Foundation. We're really grateful for that partnership. And we are about to go live into the main event that we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to have been your host over this live stream. Welcome to the Anzisha Gala. Thank you very much. Let's shift inside. Good?
Nazindaba, my children. Ideas are living things, just waiting to be discovered. They start as intuition and manifest into dreams, and dreams are creatures of adventure. All they cost is a brave heart. It's all or nothing. And what you deserve is on the other side of fear. So take that first step. Go and never stop. Never settle for anything less than what you already are. Walk, run, slide, jump, get up, get under, get over, get through. Crawl with your burdens if you have to, but never ever accept defeat. This is for Agbe, Aldred, and Alhaji. Know that the world owes you nothing but exactly what you deserve. This is for Alina, Amanda, and Awa. Your passion illuminates a bright path, a continent to follow. This is for a truly better tomorrow. So unlearn your fears. Dream your world into hand. Put faith on the tip of a thought and stand as giants. Write yourselves as freedom songs and find liberation in self. It is time to make the world believe that you are more than just dreamers, but builders of man and life, rising stars skybound. This is for Boluwatife, for Farah, and for Joan, for the thunder in Kevin's voice, the hurricane in Kiseka's twist, and the summer in Kondwani's eyes. This is for your freedom. This is for Lorena and Melissa, for Muhammad and Muhammad. New destinations, but always remember that you come from somewhere. For reaching new heights, but never forget the ground, never forget the roots that ground you. For Nomina, Richard, Tando, and Vanessa, you are the energy of a new dawn, the hope of a people reborn. You are Africans, proud, loud, and tall. So may your words bring you worlds. May your hands carry your worth. Remember that everything that man has built was once just a dream. So gather your dreams, neatly place them in a backpack and wear them as skin. Tuck in your laces and let the journey begin. Because this is for all of you who dare to win. But fellow dreamers, remember, ideas are not fond of an air-conditioned office. You cannot present passion on a PowerPoint presentation. Inspiration will never give 30 days notice, and dedication is the share price of imagination. It may also be in your interest to know that learning is a lifelong companion, and the greatest return on any investment is not the bottom line, but success in your lifetime. Salute.
Wow. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, please let's give Furkan a really big round of applause. That was absolutely phenomenal. Imagine getting a poem just about you, just like that. Our 10 finalists all getting special mentions there for their very, very special day and their special night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 edition of the of the Anzisha Prize right here at the African Leadership Academy. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be your MC for the night. To all our esteemed guests that are here, to all our friends and friends of friends that have come along who might have found out that there's free food and drink here. And of course, all of those that are streaming in online, showing their great interest in exactly why we're here, which is celebrating young entrepreneurs. It is a pleasure to be your MC, and I'm joined here by this wonderful second-year student of the African Leadership Academy, Tanati Gambura.
That's right. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to the 2018 edition of the Anzisha Prize Gala. My name is Tanate Gambura. I am from Harare, Zimbabwe, and I am indeed a second-year student here at the African Leadership Academy.
Urubo.
Did you say?
I'm supposed to say Urubo, right?
Yes, and you say Urubo.
Urubo.
Did you say?
Yeah, there we go. And I'm Maps Mapunyani, and it's a real pleasure to be your MC tonight. In case you're wondering, people always ask me what my claim to fame might be. We have a little jingle here on SABC 1. During the breaks of SABC 1's television programming, and it goes, Zanzi for sure, AIA. My claim to fame is that I was the guy that did the AIA. So it really is an honor to be here. In case my voice sounds familiar, that's where it's from. So, of course, we have to always make sure that we let you know in case of any danger what to do. So our housekeeping, ladies and gentlemen, in case of fire, you just need to use our 3 exits that we have in the room. In case of fire at home, please just, where your front door is if you're watching this. If you need to smoke, please may you do that outside on the campus. If you're at home, see above. And also, if there are any type of temptations to be using your phone, please make sure that you do use your phone to speak about the Anzisha Prize tonight, but make sure that you put it online, put it offline, put it on silent so that you don't disturb tonight's proceedings at all.
That's right. Now, just before we get into the proceedings of the day, Maps, will you tell us what we are here today? Why is everyone gathered looking so dashing and exquisite? What are we here to celebrate today?
Firstly, we really have to mention how good each and every one of you look. So I think you should give yourselves a round of applause for that. I can see the Africanism coming through, being celebrated, which is what tonight is all about. We're here to celebrate, of course. We seek to celebrate young entrepreneurs on the African continent. And this year we've managed to do that from across 39 countries. We found some sensational young entrepreneurs, and we have quite a number of finalists, which Tanat is going to be touching on a little bit later, which is a staggering feat for the awards for the first time, the number that we've managed to have, because they were just so phenomenal. And we're here really to I guess, show those incredible entrepreneurs who've managed to find those solutions to African problems in an African context. Solutions that can be developed, that can be scalable, solutions that can help to, I guess, really show people that Africa is the now and not only the future, and that we're here to stay and make a really big impact and don't require the West for that assistance, and can solve our own issues with the amount of intellect and skill that we have within our youth, and that our youth is going to be making sure that Africa is in safe hands in itself.
Right. And now in its 8th year, Anzisha has proved itself to be a formidable platform for identifying, developing, and celebrating these young entrepreneurs. This year, we have not 12, not 15, but 20 finalists that have traveled near and far. That's
Big round of
right.
applause for that.
20 finalists that have traveled near and far to come here at the African Leadership Academy so that we can celebrate them.
Absolutely, and 20 finalists is definitely not a mean feat. It's the first time that has ever happened at the Anzisha Prize, and you'll all be looking forward to finding out who our top 3 are, but you'll see that it was really difficult, or why it was really difficult for our judges this year, who were actually complaining with just how they felt like it was a bit unfair that they had that job of doing that. So you can all be really proud of yourselves, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of your projects and your different entrepreneurial ventures that you have ventured into on our screens today. And we're also going to be having a viewer's choice so that you can decide who you think, and we've been running that for a while, to see who the audience thinks and everyone watching at home thinks is the deserved recipient of the Viewer's Choice Award for the Anzisha Prize.
Right, and of course, none of this could be possible without the very generous partnership that we have with the MasterCard Foundation. We'd like to especially recognize their work and their efforts for supporting both the Anzisha Prize, right? For supporting the Anzisha Prize and African Leadership Academy. And someone who has been really instrumental here in being our key connection between the Anzisha Prize and the MasterCard Foundation is the manager of the Youth Livelihoods Program at the MasterCard Foundation. He is a man who is familiar with this community. He is part of us, and he will be opening for us tonight. So if we can introduce Mr. Kofi Aswan from Côte d'Ivoire to give us the opening address.
Thank you.
Wow. Can you do that again? Wow. The lights are bright. Well, welcome everyone to the 2018 Anzisha Prize Gala. On behalf of the MasterCard Foundation, it's an honor to be here with you. I want to take this opportunity to thank our keynote speaker for joining us, as well as all the parents of young entrepreneurs who have joined us this time around. And I also want to take the opportunity to thank all the leadership, the staff, the faculty, especially the students of ALA. I think that we don't take that opportunity to thank them enough, from the boot camps that they hold across the continent, to the selection process that all the staff and faculties involved. Is truly remarkable. Just to know that gone from over 600 applications to now 50 and then 20 that we have here today. So I want to thank them for all the efforts and all the hard work. And then the judges. I'm always excited to see the judging process, and I'm always excited not being part of it. And it was an extremely difficult task, in which they have done well. And I want to say thank you for taking the time for being here with us. And above all, thank you for being mentors to these fellows. 2018 Anzisha fellows. I don't call you finalists anymore, you're fellows. Welcome to the fellowship. You have demonstrated incredible incredible potential. And it's something that at the foundation we hold dear. That's something that inspires us to do more. And it's something that is also in line with our strategy at the foundation, which is Young Africa Works. We believe that entrepreneurs are critical in solving the issues on the continent, as well as critical partners such as the African Leadership Academy for the work that they do in building young leaders on the continent. Now, after all is said and done, in a few minutes, there are going to be 3 that will be called Grand Prize winners. I just want to let you know that your journey did not start today. It definitely won't end today. I just want to advise you to quickly dust yourself up and embrace the fellowship that you are now part of. Please remember the critical connections that you have made. Please remember the potential that we all see in you. And above all, please enjoy yourself tonight. So I want to thank you all for being part of this celebration. I want to thank all those who are watching for joining us. But also I want to thank them to take the opportunity to support young leaders across the continent. Thank you very much.
Indeed, a powerful message from Mr. Aswan. Thank you for those words. Now, if you're still wondering about what exactly Anzisha is and what the work we do here is all about, please turn your attention to the screens in front of you and enjoy a short video that we have for you.
The Anzisha Prize started in 2011.
My name is Kevin Eder. I'm from Togo. My business name is Dashmake, and we provide app for people. And our main app is SOS.
The Anzisha Prize started in 2011, and when it started, it was mostly focused on finding the stories of young entrepreneurs on the continent. And as it has evolved over the years, it's developed into a program that not only finds these young entrepreneurs, but celebrates their stories and helps these entrepreneurs scale their business.
For the Anzisha Prize, we see entrepreneurship, and in particular very young entrepreneurship, as key to Africa's development. Very young entrepreneurs hold the greatest promise to create a lot of sustainable change on the continent.
We think that supporting entrepreneurs of this age is different to supporting entrepreneurs that are older. So we've learned a lot by running the entrepreneur program at the Academy, and all of those learnings translate into how we treat and support the Anzisha Fellows who are out there actually doing it already rather than maybe still in school. Start Now is very simply a call to arms for young people to stop waiting for whatever they might be waiting for. What we've demonstrated is that
Ladies and gentlemen, are our top 20 finalists that you saw on screen. And of course, you saw that we heard there from Josh Adler. We're going to get to hear from him a little bit later on as well. He's the Vice President of Growth and Entrepreneurship at the African Leadership Academy. We also want to make sure that we get the conversation going on social media for all of those that aren't here tonight. So please make sure that you do speak about it on social media. It's hashtag Anzisha Live. Sorry, Watch Anzisha Live. Hashtag Watch Anzisha Live. And then the second hashtag is hashtag Anzisha Gala 2018. Hashtag Anzisha Gala 2018. Also, if you want to use our handle on Twitter, it is at Anzisha Prize. At Anzisha Prize. So please send all your positive tweets to at Anzisha Prize. And of course, for all your negative tweets, use at the real Donald Trump. Huh?
Thank you. Now, moving right into it, we want to introduce a very special man. He is delivering the keynote speech tonight. He is a prolific Nigerian entrepreneur, the founder of Conga.com.
Yep.
Maps, tell us, what is Conga.com?
Yes, so Conga.com is the foremost e-commerce site in Africa. It is better known or often referred to as Africa's answer to Amazon. It is a platform that allows Nigerians and West Africans across the region to conveniently sell and purchase goods online. And prior to founding Conga.com, he spearheaded some of Google's early market entry efforts into Africa. He also has significant experience in the finance sector, having previously served as Vice President of Rand Merchant Bank in West Africa, leading project financing and financial advisory services.
That's right, and he has been showered with numerous accolades, including being named as one of Africa's 10 most powerful men in 2014. He has an MBA from the Harvard Business School, and he studied engineering at Dartmouth College and George Washington University in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce to the stage Mr. Sim Shagaya.
Good evening. Talking to old people is easy. Talking to young people makes me nervous, so you're going to have to bear with me here. It's a real privilege to be here amongst all of you and seeing old friends, people that I haven't seen in a few years. I remember many years ago when bricks were being sold to raise money to start this institution, and to see it here now is just so amazing. And to be here with Josh and the rest of the ALA team, well done. You've done such an amazing job. And I think of the average age of these young people sitting here. And about the time I was your age, I think I was in graduate school. I was at Dartmouth at the time, thinking about coming back to the continent to start a paging business. Now, you guys probably don't know what pagers are. You know, there are these things where you send a phone number to somebody on a little device and then you call them back on that phone number. And I was convinced this was going to revolutionize Africa, and I'm really grateful that idea didn't take off. But what I did not have that you have today is this incredible support network, this consciousness of Pan-Africanism that has been born. I'm so proud to be a part of it today. We literally didn't have that when we were your age. It seems like a lot hasn't changed on the continent, but the truth is that we've come so far. And this institution and you being here from all these different countries, I think represents that. So I'm really, really privileged to be here today. And in a few minutes, we're going to, declare a winner, the top 3 winners, and 17 folks will technically not be winners, but it's cliche, but really you're all winners in my eyes. So I should say that, first of all, you represent the best of us, the very best of our dreams and aspirations. But I mean, I think, and I'm not sure I'm even the best person to talk about this today. I've chatted with a couple of the team members from ALA, and I've been impressed by how profound our discussions have been about Africa and about our future and about the challenges that we face. So all I'm going to do is sort of have a conversation about the things that, if you like, have sort of concerned me over the past few years. And in all of those anxieties that I have, the solution to all of those problems and challenges ultimately always come back to the young people will fix these things. And so let's talk about them, because the truth is that I don't think that there has ever been a generation that faces challenges as profound and great as your generation. You're facing challenges that even we do not face. In many ways, we'll be looking to you to lead us through some of these challenges. A lot of talk has been made about this whole idea of this 4th industrial revolution. So I'll just sort of squeeze probably 1 week of discussion into 10 seconds. So we have the first revolution, right? You guys familiar with this concept? You had the first revolution. It was, steam engines and things like that. And then we had the second one was electricity and assembly lines. And then computing came. And incidentally, Africa really didn't truly get through the second and the third. And now we're facing this massive shift, this 4th industrial revolution that threatens to upend everything we know about everything, from the way societies are organized to the way marriages and families are structured, to what it means to be African and even our place in the world. But it also promises great opportunity. And one of the concerns that I have is that, one of the fears I have is that we're not participating in that revolution. And one of my greatest hopes for folks like you is that you will show us the way into this revolution. Right now, for example, an organization, I think it's called Target Malaria, is releasing a new flavor of mosquitoes in Burkina Faso. I don't know if anybody has heard about this. Now, these are mosquitoes that are engineered by this tool called CRISPR to specifically not be able to carry malaria. And they intend to inject these mosquitoes into the environment in Botswana, and hopefully over the course of a few generations, all the mosquitoes within a locale in Burkina Faso will not be able to transmit malaria. But in all of the conversations, in all my readings about this great effort, and it's really honorable, I have not really heard the African voice. We're not really part of that discussion. Even right now, therapies that target things like not just malaria, diabetes and cancer, and some of these things that touch all of our families are being developed. Drugs that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars are being developed. But we're not part of that conversation. What would that mean for us? Just at the time when our population is exploding, and this incidentally is a third sort of challenge, and I'll talk about that in a second, we're being faced with a world where robots will be able to farm for us. Drones will be able to do our security. And what does this mean for jobs in Africa? What does this mean for joblessness in Africa? And I think on the one hand, it's the job of governments to try and figure out what this means. But on the other hand, it's your job as entrepreneurs, I think even more than the governments, to figure out what this means for us. These are going to be great changes and challenges coming. And this is not, I'm not talking about, it's literally not even 10 years or 20 years anymore. We're not talking about the next 3 years, 5 years. We're even talking about now. But the thing about these technologies that sort of, in a composite, make this fourth industrial revolution, is that they also create great opportunity for you. I've walked around some of the stands and I've seen some of you harnessing these tools. And these tools will become even more available to you as we go on. And that leads me to the second challenge. Some of you that are given these opportunities through ALA, through being here today, will probably be able to accumulate incredible wealth in your lifetimes. You will make probably more money than you dream of. Just as, recently I've been involved in agriculture, so I find myself spending a lot of time in the rural parts of Nigeria, where you see real want and real desperation. And so you have to ask yourself what you do with all of this wealth. Some of us that were born in the 70s, we've seen the world go from this classic worldview where governments try to do everything. You guys probably don't remember this world. The government of Nigeria, for example, tried to fly airlines. We tried to deploy telecom networks. We tried to do everything. Television back then, media, not even television, started at noon, and cartoons played for 3 hours. And then, you ended the day at 11 with the national anthem. But that world has changed completely today, hasn't it? And then we went to this world where it's freewheeling capitalism and it's money, 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 and let's make cash. And we're seeing a world where one individual can accumulate cash that's the equivalent of the GDP of a dozen African countries. And what does this mean for us? I'll tell you from my personal experience is that money doesn't satisfy. And I think even personally, I have seen as societies, we're starting to see that there must be something deeper than capitalism, than the accumulation of wealth, at least in my own opinion. And I'll tell you something else as entrepreneurs, that something else must drive you beyond money. If it is only money, you will tire. If it is only money, you will give up and you will stop. There must be something deeper that drives us here forward. And so I'm really impressed to see that there's such a big social component to everything that you are doing. That's very important to us. As a matter of fact, I think that if you focus strictly on the monetary objective, you compromise the mission. Money comes as a necessary consequence of adding value to society. So everything that you do must be with Africa in mind in terms of adding value to society. The third challenge you face, and you guys in some ways constitute the challenge itself, is that I was born in 1975, which there was a time that seemed like recently, but now even when I say it, it seems not so recent. But I was born into a Nigeria with 66 million people and an Africa of 400 million people. And today Nigeria has 200 million people and Africa is 1.3 billion people. And by 2050, I think we're hearing Nigeria is going to be 400 million people, and Africa is going to be 2.4 billion people, right? Even right now, Nigeria is half of the population of Africa when I was born. So there's this massive base of people, this massive demographic that's coming that could constitute a blessing, or it could be a challenge. And you guys must lead. When people like me in our humble contributions to ALA and even being here, the reason I'm here is to give you that message, is that you must lead. We've already started to see some of the symptoms of the lack of that leadership or not paying attention to our demographics. In even my own dear country in Nigeria. Make no mistake, Boko Haram is no more than a symptom of demographic explosion and climate change. That's all it is. So if we don't manage this, there will be more Boko Harams. Do not point a finger at Nigeria and laugh. These things can happen anywhere. And this population explosion is happening everywhere. These are the three challenges I think that you must fundamentally face. And even as I enter my 40s, and I'm beginning to get deep into my 40s, I know that I must cede leadership to you people. You understand the world in a way that I don't. All I can do is offer you some advice in my own journey of entrepreneurship. You must push. It can't all be about money. The very society that you seek to help and develop will at times seem to fight against you. The very system that you think you want to improve will sometimes oppose you. You will have high highs, you will laugh, you will be joyous and dance, and then you will have moments of despair where you'll be alone in your room and not have anybody to talk to. If you're so fortunate that the ideas that you've so wonderfully presented to us today is your first idea, is the idea, then that's great. But the truth of the matter is that you have many iterations. You will find new things to work on as you go on. What I will tell you is that I salute your effort. Like I said, you represent the very best of us. I honestly believe this. Just as your blood is the composite of all of your ancestors' blood, all of us are looking to you. I really think this is a special time in the history of the continent. Your generation will be the ones that faces the fork in the road. The wave crests with you. There is no other, the wave doesn't go higher than you. There is no other fork in the road beyond you. So harness your ambition, and it will take heroic ambition to fix this place. We will rely on you even more than we rely on governments. Already, entrepreneurs have more credibility than politicians. I think we all believe this, right? We believe in you more than we do the politicians. So we look to you. You will also need a certain level of Pan-African cooperation that I'm so proud, I think is even more tangible here. It's to be felt more readily here than in the hallways of the Africa Union in Addis Ababa. You will need that. We didn't have that at your age. It's so fantastic to see that here. For some of us, like my brother Chris, for some of us to meet each other, we had to go abroad. Now we are here, and I'm seeing Libyans, and I'm seeing Moroccans, I'm seeing Nigerians, I'm seeing Zimbabweans here. And that's a wonderful thing. So you have a lot of work to do. Face it with sobriety, but be excited about the future. There will be challenges. And whatever little help some of us can give, we will give. At the end of the day, Josh likes to say I mentored him. I'm not exactly sure what that means, because at the time I was supposedly mentoring him, I was trying to figure it out myself. So, for whatever it's worth, we are here to offer every help. But again, I will say this, I think I've repeated this a few times. It's a recurrent theme, is you literally represent the best of us. And with that comes an awful lot of responsibility. So face it with sobriety, face it with focus, and we're here for you. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. Shagai, those words hit pretty hard, and I think one of the words that stick out for me the most is that it's a youth's time to lead, and it couldn't ring louder, especially being a man from Nigeria, where President Buhari is, I think, turning 76 in 2 months' time. And the average age in Nigeria is, in the population, the average age is 18.4 years old. 18.4. So you're looking at a leadership gap there of 57 years. And although it's a recurring problem, at least it's a little bit more reasonable in regions such as Kenya, where it's about 37 years. It's just as, it's still quite a glaring void that I think needs to be filled. The average age across the board of African leaders is looking, I think, around the region of between 62 and 65 years old. And this is the youngest continent in the world, where 80% of the population is under the age of 35 years old. So definitely a lot to think about. And this really is our time right now as the youth to be able to take those reins and take that leadership forward. So thank you for those incredible words and that great message. Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, these 20 finalists have been selected from a highly competitive pool of 632 applications. We received applications from 39 countries, including Libya, Morocco, Tunisia, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, we can name them all, but it's absolutely incredible that you have made it this far. Give yourselves another round of applause. So here at the Anzisha Gala, we believe that everyone is a winner. And so what we do every year is that each finalist walks away with a small gift of $2,500. So at this moment, if I can call upon Mr. Josh Adler and Kofi Aswan to come up and hand over the trophies to the finalists.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
While you're coming up here, Josh, while you're coming up here, I was loving your support there for Sim. Each time you'd say something that moved you, you were just clicking and hoping people, would join in.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we have our first 10 finalists, and I have that honor of calling out the names. The first finalist, Kevin Edo. Our second finalist, Aldred Dogu. Our third finalist, Alhaji Siraj Ba. Fourth finalists, Alina Karima Musama. Fifth finalist, Amanda Jojo. Sixth finalist, Awa Ite. Finalist number 7, Bolwatife Omatayo. Mbega. Finalist number 10, completing our first half, Kevin Kibetz. With that, let's all turn to our screens to have a look at a little story from our 10 finalists.
My name's Kondwani Gabriela Banda and I'm from Zambia. My business is called The Mainstream Magazine.
My name is Kevin Eder. I'm from Togo. My business name is Dashmake, and we provide app for people. And our main app is SOS System. SOS System is a solution to help people when they are in danger or there are some emergencies. People will need you. People will need your idea. People will want to take part of your idea. So that's for me, that's why it's really important to be registered.
Je m'appelle Aldred Dogué et je viens du Bénin. Le nom de mon business est Africa Food Mill. À Africa Food Mill, nous transformons les matières premières agricoles locales en produits prêts pour la consommation. Actuellement, nous produisons des légumes pré-cuits, comme la carotte pré-cuite, la coda pré-cuite. Donc en fait, nous travaillons avec les producteurs locaux qui nous fournissent les matières premières en cette eau. Quand je prends le meilleur des Nigériens d'un côté, il a parlé quelque part, il a dit qu'être là où il est aujourd'hui lui a mis 30 ans. Commencer plus tôt permettra d'aller plus loin en fait. C'est ma vision des choses.
My name is Alhaji Ahmad Sigaj from Sierra Leone, West Africa. The name of my business company is Ruxal Tegedin, a company that produces handcrafted custom paper bags and coconut husk briquette, which serves as an alternative for charcoal. You must never wait for the right time. The time is always right. You must take the time and make it right now.
My name is Alina Musanda Karima Musama. I am a Zambian. My business is actually a social enterprise and it is called the Women's Economic Empowerment Project, and we economically empower women to meet Zambia Vision 2030, but also to equip them with sustainable development skills. I want to be the change that the future generation appreciates. I want to be the change I want to see in the world. When I was a little girl, it was, oh, why can't people do this? Why can't people create jobs for women? Why are they always women knocking at the gate? Can I have piecework, piecework, piecework? So you identify a problem, I identified a problem, and if not now, then when? I'm only getting older, not younger.
My name is Amanda Nandi Pajojo. I am from South Africa. I stay in Midrand. My business is called The Tree Garden. My business is an antique coffee shop. It's important to start now because the more we create those opportunities for young people, it will be easier for them to create more other opportunities when they're much older. It's important to be a job starter because we create a lot of opportunities for young people as well as elderly people.
I am Awante from Cameroon. I am the CEO and founder of Farmers Fort, which is a company based on snail farming. I do heliculture, which is snail farming, particularly to make a line of skincare products from the mucin. I also have a biosecurity service team, which provides farm-to-farm disease control for local farmers and urban farmers as well. Winning the Anzisha Prize is going to provide me the business tentacles I need to expand rapidly and impact many developing communities, not just in my country, but all over Africa.
My name is Omotayo Buluatife, and I'm from Nigeria. My company, Tab Digitals, is an online platform where users can access convenient and very affordable gadget experience, which includes sales, servicing, trade for cash, swap, and rentals, to know how far and how well we could collaborate and get stuff done. So essentially, to help us achieve more than we have been doing, help us create more jobs, to help us service more people, and ultimately to help us transform Africa faster than we wanted to.
My name is Farah Hamara. I'm from Egypt. Jadar is a startup that works on redirecting talents into different markets. We basically do that through promoting designers and painters and connecting them to different job opportunities.
I think we waste so much time on studying and planning and doing the research, and it's so important to be fast, start fast, fail fast, learn fast, and fix fast. It's really important to be a job starter. We have realized that one of the most valuable resources is talent, and we have many talented people and huge potential. So it's so important to provide opportunities for these people.
I'm Joan Nalvega from Uganda. I'm 21 years old. I founded Uganix in 2016 in April with the aim of creating a malaria-free world. And we are doing this through providing a long-lasting natural mosquito repellent soap. At some point, we will not even have the resources to solve the problems that we are facing. If we start now, then we will create a much better generation ahead of us.
My name is Kevin Kibet, and I'm from Kenya. I am the founder of Farm Moja, a social enterprise that provides agricultural development services to smallholder farmers in East Africa. We as youth have to be proactive because this is when we have so much energy. This is when we're bursting with ideas, and the continent is ripe, and so it's up to us to mobilize resources, mobilize our time, and make it happen.
Excited to hear from the finalists themselves. So I'm going to call upon Boluwatife and Nomena to come up and join me on stage. We're going to have a quick conversation about what your experience has been so far. Please come on stage. Yep, take a seat. You can grab a microphone and we can get started. So I'll start with you, Nomena. This question has come from @Ruot Kedoda. She's tweeted on Twitter, obviously, just now, and she's asked the question: how do you manage to get access to manufacturers to process your product?
The manufacturing process is within our company. We do ourselves the manufacturing. So yeah.
You do it yourselves?
Yeah. With the team. We have the team of manufacturing there.
Right, and what has that been like? What challenges have you faced kind of spearheading that process for yourselves, and instead of kind of getting someone from outside? What's it been like, taking ownership of that process?
Yeah, it was very challenging because it's not easy to find, to build the team. Right. So actually we are working with 6 women for within the company, and we're doing it great. Yeah.
Absolutely, and has it been a deliberate choice that you've decided to work with women? Is it women alone that you're working with?
Yeah, basically we are women, but we also have part-time men who work with us.
Part-time men.
Yeah, but what I really want to do is to empower that capacity that women of Madagascar have, and that's why I really want to work with them.
Absolutely. Round of applause. So, Bolu, I'll ask you the second question. So, you've been doing really well in IT. You're spearheading this company of yours. And what we want to know is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years seems like a long time, but then it's very close. So, essentially, in 5 years, major focus is creating more jobs. So, we've outlined as part of our timeline that in the next 5 years, we're creating at least 2,000 jobs, directly, indirectly. And we also observed that in our line of work, we partner with local repairers, by the way, to fix gadget problems. We found out that at the moment we have practically no female involved in this. So we've structured it such that in the next 5 years, we'll be training 500 females in the act of technical repairs. So that is essentially the core things we are doing. Then, of course, ultimately contributing to Nigeria's GDP and all, but ultimately creating more jobs and involving female in this business.
Absolutely, because no GDP can grow without, the contribution of all its population, women included. So what we want to know is, why do you think that there's been such underrepresentation in your field of work? Is it that the women won't come themselves? Are there barriers, obstacles? What have you observed that is missing?
A lot of these problems are cultural. When we were growing up, one of the things that we're taught is females should not climb a palm tree. That's not a female's job. A female should not drive a truck. That's not a female's job. So once you think about technical services, fixing stuff, handcraft stuffs, in my part of the world, that's Nigeria, you find that these places are dominated majorly by male. So, but cash is flowing in these sides too. We also need to get the female folks involved. Gender equality is what we've been claiming, we've been shouting about. So we need to get these people actively involved.
Absolutely. Well, please, audience watching from home, please keep the tweets coming. That question for Bolu came from @CODE Ebenezer. Thank you for that question. Everyone else, even if you're here, please tweet. We're running with Anzisha Gala 2018 and watch and #WatchAnzisha Live. Thank you, Nomena and Bolo Atife. You can take your seats. So we're going to move into a musical interlude, and I'm going to invite Maps on stage now to come and talk to us about who is about to perform for us and what they're about to do.
So next up we have Malkia and the band, and they are part of the university, and they're students from ALA, and they're an all-female band.
Yeah.
And they're here to show us what they're made of. We are quite excited to see what they're all about. They've been looking forward to this. They're quite nervous. So we really want to get the audience giving them a big round of applause to see how excited we are to actually see them on stage and perform. So let's get a big round of applause going all the way until they are on stage. And let's bring them up. This is a big moment for them.
So we are Malkia and the band, and today we'll be performing Africa by Yami Alade and Sauti Soul. I hope you enjoy. This my African hands, they gon' love you. My African lips, they gon' kiss you. My African hips, they get down for you. My African legs will run to you. Whether you come here to break down, you come here to shake hands, you come here to make plans, ever with the richest motherland. Whether you come here to rock with you, even to find food, everything they ever with the richest motherland. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. This my African heart will love you. They will love you. My African arms will squeeze you. My African African ears will listen to you. I will listen to my African legs will run to you. Come on, Mekujaku break dance. Hey, Mekujaku get down. Mekujaku take charge. Hakuna matata, eh. Come on, Mekujaku lipala, eh. Kupiga dance, yo, oh, oh. Aba ulipo, eh. Kataki, you know. Anywhere you go, London, USA. Nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Utapewa nini? Weruya wayo. Wayaka. Karibu kiti. Utapewa nini? Africa, Africa, yeah. Magia. Hey, soldier come, soldier go. Your home now, your home. Irreplaceable. Anywhere you go, London, USA. Nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Because we're yawayo, ayakpa, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? We're yawayo. London, USA. Nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Thank you.
Thank you, Malky and the band. That was a sterling performance.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Chemutai Roto, Gail Were, and Osa Nwako. And I'm loving this theme right now of women running the business and then having men working part-time again there. That was quite impressive. All right, so now we're going to have a look at our screens once again to look at our second group of finalists.
My names are Kondwani Gabriela Banda and I'm from Zambia. My business is called The Mainstream Magazine. So it's a digital platform that specializes in telling authentic African stories. We tell stories in the segment of entrepreneurship, lifestyle, fashion, and entertainment. So this is the time to start. And by the time it's 5 years, 10 years, you would have created something so lucrative, something so life-changing, something that can change the lives of many other people.
Meu nome é Lorena do Almeida Bunde, venho de Angola. O nome da minha empresa é El Sebo Fé Infantil. Nós fazemos decoração para festa de crianças, nós fazemos decoração completas. É importante começar agora, por quê? Porque quanto mais cedo nós começamos, nós conseguimos ter uma visão melhor do futuro. Porque no nosso momento nós temos mais oportunidades. Por quê? Porque somos jovens, não temos muitas responsabilidades acrescentadas, podemos gerir melhor as nossas atividades, podemos acrescentar sempre novas ideias e não temos muita preocupação com o tempo.
My name is Melissa Bime. I'm from Cameroon. I run a startup called Infuse, which is an online blood bank and a digital emergency blood supply platform. It's important to start now because, there's never really a time to start. The earlier, the better, because if you start early, you feel quicker until you finally just get it right.
My name is Mohamed Idrisi. I'm 22 years old and I am from Morocco. My company name is Health Solutions Inc. We basically we are reinventing medical education, and so our mission is to empower and help healthcare providers to improve their skills. It's to not create jobs, but it's to create people who are gonna create jobs. And this is what Anzisha is doing is encouraging us and celebrating what we are doing, that we are creating jobs. And this is important because we need to create new lands of opportunities. And that's why I think it's very important for young people to have this new look to the job market.
My name is Mohammed Al-Sharif, Mohammed Abdulaziz Al-Sharif. I come from Tripoli, which is the capital of Libya. My business is officially ice flakes, like we manufacture ice. So we produce ice flakes for them to storage their ice because we have like long blackouts. Electricity doesn't stay in Libya. It's important to start now, like it's important to start young because it gives you a lot of opportunities in the future.
My name is Numena Anjana Twanch and I am from Madagascar. My business name is Poisa. What we are doing is that we are producing healthy smoothie beverages made from fruit, vegetables and rice milk. It's really important to start now because we don't have anything to lose because we do not have nothing. We just have our dream, our vision, our passion, and it's really important for us young people to know how to capitalize what we have.
So my name is Richard Turere and I'm 18 years old and I'm from Kenya. So I'm the CEO and founder of Lion Lights. So Lion Lights is a device that I invented 5 years ago to scare away predators from people's farms. It is important to start right now because, I mean, if you have the opportunity and you have the resources and you have the mind, I mean, why would you have to wait when you're very old and when you have very few years to work while you can just start it right now?
My name is Samson Kiseka Chizito. I'm from Uganda and I'm the Managing Director, Hello Mushrooms Uganda Limited. Hello Mushrooms works with farmers in the marketing of their produce and these mushrooms. It is important to start now because with the youth, this is the right time where we're energetic, the right time when we are sharp. And I think I've failed actually a lot of times. So I've realized that whenever I fail as a youth, I can restart over again. It's important to be a job starter because it creates value in you. It gives you capacity to help others, support others.
My name is Tandulue Tumzu. My business is Zayo, and Zayo is a platform that allows student software developers to gain real-world skills and practical experience to help them one day land their dream job. If we don't start now, look, the population issue is not stopping anytime soon. The unemployment issue is not going to stop anytime soon. It requires people to actively step up. There's no better time to start than now.
My name is Ishimwe Vanessa. I am a Rwandan. My business is youth. It's called Youth Initiative for Development in Africa. We have scholarship programs for young people of 15 to 30 years old. And then we also have entrepreneurship trainings for the same age bracket. If I feel I have the passion for a particular kind of thing, I want to start a particular kind of business, I know with time, if I don't start it now, with time I'm going to lose the interest, I'm going to lose the passion, and as I grow older, I mean, age also comes with its own disadvantages.
Coming back on stage are Mr. Kofi Aswan and Josh Adler, who will be presenting the second round of finalists with their trophies.
So first up from that second group of our top 20 finalists and the second group of our top 10, Kondwani Banda. Bundi. Melissa Bime. Mohammed El Iljisi. Mohammed Sharif. Nomina Andriana Antoando. Richard Turere. Samson Kiseka. Rumor has it he's in his boxer shorts and flip-flops again. Tando Shongwane. And last but not least, rounding up our top 20 finalists of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Vanessa Ishimwe.
Thank you, Josh. And that's a wrap. Now this time, the audience wants to hear from, again, the second round of finalists. If I can call upon Alina and Mohammed Sharif to join me on stage for a quick round of question and answer. So I'll get right into it, starting with you, Alina. So this question comes from at DJ Papa Penguin, and he's asking, what impact has the project had in solving community problems?
Thank you for that question at something. So the direct problem that this impact has had in solving community problems is that poverty levels are reducing, and we are directly increasing the number of household incomes controlled by women.
Right. And why is it important for household income to be, controlled by women? And what domino effect has kind of tackling the issue of gender inequality had on other social issues?
Okay, so the direct effect that it has, why it is important to control the number of household incomes controlled by women, is because Zambia has set this Vision 2030, which is to get Zambia to a middle income economy by 2030. Women grow economies, working women in specific, and increasing the number of females in the labor force will drive our economy faster, greater.
Right, thank you. And Mohammed, your question is coming from at Nikki Wachira, and they're asking, what motivates you every morning to keep going?
A really nice question at the beginning. Like seeing the impact I make with my team, on my friends in the community, and especially seeing the smile on the customers that I get, that's really something that makes you motivated to wake up with bread every morning.
Of course, and round of applause, right, right. And I can imagine there are probably some demotivating factors as well. So what do you think those have been for you, and how have you managed to deal with them?
Like, just don't think about it, even though like it's really frustrating, but we're managing and we will do it, inshallah.
We'll do it, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And that concludes it for announcing our 20 finalists. We will now go into announcing, so we had a really cool segment called the Viewers' Choice Awards. And what's really special about this segment is that the audience, it's you, the people in front of me, the people at home that get to choose who wins this prize. So the votes have been counted, the votes are in, and you've chosen who you think is your favorite finalist for the 2018 edition of Anzisha Prize. Maps, would you like to go ahead with announcing that? I don't want to do it.
It's quite difficult, as you have seen from all the... Can you hear me now? There we go. It is quite difficult, as you've seen from all the finalists. And I think what's really been encouraging, that I think we really need to give them another round of applause for, is the level of conscious capitalism they've approached their entrepreneurial ventures with, their social attitude to it. I love the real eloquence of what it is that they're doing, the passion that they speak with, and their passion for wanting to be a part of that solution, creating employment, helping their youth around them. And I think what's really staggering, being able to do all of that, is that each and every one of them, and you saw with the way that they're able to speak about what it is that they're doing and what they passionately want to be able to change in their immediacy and on the continent, is that each and every one of them are between the ages of 18 and 22. And if that doesn't make you excited about the future, I don't know what will. So let's give them a round of applause. So, the votes are in. And with 4,154 votes is our winner. But I'm going to tell you who's in third and second place first for the viewer's choice. With 2,555 votes, we had Alina. With 3,913 votes, we had Bolwatife. But with those votes I mentioned earlier, 4,154 Viewers' Choice Award winner. He's scratching his head right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Edo.
How are you feeling? What's it like? Oh my gosh.
Oh, great. I just want to say thank you for all people, all Togolese or all non-Togolese who decide to support me. I mean, I'm not a real fan of social media, and you will see on social media I have a lot of followers and so forth. But something I realized during this bootcamp and during this journey is people didn't fall in love for me, but they fall in love of my idea of SOS, and that's what's important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin, and once again, congratulations to you. So if you notice, this evening we've been running with the theme Start Now. We have a Start Now campaign that's running right now. And what this is, it's really to speak to finalists and entrepreneurs at large, and to people who can potentially spearhead the development of these entrepreneurs. So Start Now is saying that regardless of the number of, how much resources you have, the knowledge you have, the skills you have, you must start now. I think one of the finalists mentioned it that, we have to think fast, start fast and do it fast.
fast. And that's really at the essence of what we're doing here. We're saying that if we're going to impact as many people as we can, we have to start now. So what we want to do now, we want to hear from someone dear to us. He won the Anzisha Prize a couple of years ago. His name is Andrew Mupuya, and he's an entrepreneur from Uganda, and he wants to speak on the Start Now message. So if I can ask you again to turn your attentions to the screens and listen to what Andrew Mupuya has to say to us about starting now. Thank you.
Finding an investment is not easy, and it should not be muchly focused on money. It is a long-term relationship any entrepreneur is supposed to achieve. What any investor needs to look out for from an upcoming entrepreneur is the vision. Is the young entrepreneur passionate about what he or she is doing? Then to the entrepreneurs looking for funding, before you get an investor, does he align with your vision? Do your goals inspire the investor or not? If they don't, then don't just look at the money. My name is Andrew Mupuya, an entrepreneur from Uganda. And I'm here to say it starts with you. I founded Yale in 2008, a company that manufactures eco-friendly paper bags. Right now we're producing between 30 to 40 tons of paper bags monthly that we are supplying to the community, and that advocates for the environment sustainability. 80% of our production is exported to the neighboring countries and beyond, and the 20% we supply to the local market. Becoming an entrepreneur wasn't a nightmare, it was a process. In 2008, I was 16 years old. I was in Form 5. When the government mentioned to ban the plastic bags, I had to think of what could be a viable solution. That's how I came to think of paper bags. I did not have anything to start on, so I decided to collect used plastic bottles. We sold them to a recycling plant. I raised an equivalent of $6, and then I had to borrow the balance from my teacher.
I came to know Andrew when he was 16 years old. He looked serious, very innovative and hardworking. I tried him, and he was honest. He paid back the loan.
Finding investment capital, it was not easy. Along the way, I met many investors, but we could not align in terms of projections, amount that are supposed to be invested, returns. So it took me time until I had to find the right investor. Being an Anzisha fellow has changed the way I do my business. You do business knowing that you have someone who is going to help you along the way. I was able to be connected to investors whom I'm able to share the goals with, and I'm able to acquire financing to get machinery. And this has changed output from, let's say, 2 tons a month to 30 and 40 tons. I'm contributing to youth employment by employing youth in production, in sales and marketing. So my approach has been, I get people and I train them, and have trained over 1,000 people. The biggest challenge facing young entrepreneurs in Africa is mentality on how to decide to become an entrepreneur or continue to build yourself into being employed. I've gone through so many challenges. I've come back to zero several times, but I haven't stopped. Many entrepreneurs rush to look for investors, and sometimes they end up making wrong decisions. And don't fear to approach investors, because I've approached over 20, but we had not yet come to an agreement until I met the right person. If you're 15 or 16, it's a very good age to determine your future. There you have time to define whom you can be. So have a vision, to have goals of what you want to achieve, and start small.
I would encourage anyone who has been approached by a young person not to take them as a joke. These young people have great ideas. I could not believe that that young man of 16, when I met him, by this time could be owning such a business.
That is the Anzisha effect in action. Andrew Pia is an Anzisha fellow, and this video was just one part of a documentary series that we're running. And again, this documentary series was created by Isaac, who is another one of our Anzisha fellows. So round of applause for our work.
And once again, just to stress how important it is, what's so great about the fact that the Anzisha Prize is not just about giving you your prize now and your support now and sort of setting you off to go do your own thing. That fellowship is really important to be able to have that support, that mentorship, those sounding boards, to be able to learn from one another and to be able to build together, to collaborate, because collaboration is a massive thing that is needed on the continent for us to be able to progress even further, especially in the greater numbers that we can do it. So I think when you have a program that is a whole lot more holistic as opposed to just awarding a prize and letting you go, it's something that you really want to be a part of, and something that each and every one of you can be proud that you are part of it right now. Andrew, as you saw, he's a 2012 fellow, and he's had that great support, continued support from the Anzisha Prize and the Academy as a whole. And this year we will be, of course, naming that those few new winners, and of course that main grand prize winner. But of course that wouldn't have been possible without our judges.
Right, we have an outstanding panel of judges that have dedicated time and effort to deliberating and critically evaluating these young entrepreneurs' ventures. And without their support, without their input, we wouldn't be able to develop and grow these entrepreneurs to their fullest potential. So as we call up your names, judges, we would like you to please stand and allow us to honor you. Please come up to the stage so that we can give you a small token of our appreciation to you.
And I'm actually going to call up your names with your very impressive CVs, just touching on them, because I think it's only fair that we do that. Mm-hmm. First up, Pululuteka, I beg your pardon, Pululuteka. He is unfortunately not present, but is a highly accomplished entrepreneur and private equity investor. She is an executive director and co-founder of IDF Capital, a South African-based entrepreneurial financier and advisory firm.
So a round of applause for Polo in absentia.
Also on the judging panel, Ntutuko Shezi is a serial entrepreneur with over 10 years experience in building and managing businesses. He is the founder of Scratch Mobile, an auto body repair business based at OR Tambo International Airport that fixes cars while their owners travel. And Another one of our judges, Saran Kaba-Jones, who unfortunately is also not here tonight, but Saran is the founder of CEO of Face Africa, a community development organization working to strengthen water, sanitation, and hygiene, and is infrastructure and services in rural communities across sub-Saharan Africa. Big round of applause. Another one of our judges, Fatoumata Ba, is a leading investor and entrepreneur. She's the founder of a CEO of Django, a tech for good platform that uses technology to help startups build capacity, improve market access, and raise business performance. Fatoumata?
Nope, but anyway.
Our next judge is Chris Kwekowe, and Chris is actually a fellow of the Anzisha Prize, if I'm not mistaken, and he's the founder of Slate Cube, an online platform that offers courses in industry-relevant skills that enable students and recent graduates to significantly improve their employability. Ladies and gentlemen, those are 3 of the 5 of our judges, so let's give a big round of applause for a job that we wouldn't envy.
So before we get to the prize part of the Anzisha Prize Gala, we want to invite Josh Adler to say a few words, some closing remarks, so that we can end off with the most exciting part of this evening. So, Mr. Adler, if you can join us on stage, please.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming. A quick story, one of the proudest moments I've had in some time was when Andrew Mapuya, the young man you saw in the film just now, returned this year to mentor the next generation of fellows who just arrived. And the special part about it was he walked in and there was this round of applause from 20 young people who I think were just in awe of someone who was just a few steps ahead and felt like, I can be like this guy. So welcome to our community, young Anzisha fellows. You inspire all of us every day, and it's been a privilege to work with you for the last few days. Thank you. I just want to make a few thank yous because we want to get to the good stuff. To my old friend and mentor, Sim Shigaya, thank you. Your words inspired us today. To Kofi and the team at the MasterCard Foundation for enabling us to do our work. The growing African Leadership Group family, we are actually streaming tonight into 3 or 4 different campuses. There are what we're calling watch parties for the first time. So young people are everywhere are being inspired by the work and the stories that we're seeing today. But I want to move to a group of very, very, very VIP people who are new to our community of Anzisha. So I'd like to just ask them to stand as I read out their names. But if Mr. and Mrs. Odongo from Uganda, Mr. and Mrs. Ologbo from Nigeria, Ms. Salumu from Tanzania, Mrs. Kwene from South Africa, and Mrs. Makwela, also from South Africa. And I'm hoping that cameras can also find them. I want to explain, if we could, just give me a moment to explain why they're important. At Anzisha, we have realized that there's a community of people that are critical to the success of very young entrepreneurs that seem to be this big forgotten player of this ecosystem, and it's Africa's parents. The people who are standing before you are the parents of very young entrepreneurs. And in your bags tonight, every one of you have a book, which is a guide for parents of entrepreneurs, featuring the examples that are standing before us. They are our first investors, our first mentors. all of these things that all these professionals have now built sort of huge industries around, we keep forgetting that parents of teenagers and young adults have this really important role. And this is one of our new mandates at Anzisha. We're going to find and celebrate the parents of very young entrepreneurs and help other parents do this better. So thank you for coming and being with us tonight, parents of young African entrepreneurs. And please do read and share the book. We'll be distributing it quite significantly over the coming months into schools and other institutions where parents actually are. I'd also like to just express my deep gratitude to the Anzisha team. Melissa, Natsuno, Sihle, Melanie, Mfundo, who are new, and Tanje. I mean, if you could just stand for a second so that you can... Thank you. I think you are just so impressive is the reality of it. Thank you for the work that you did to get everybody here today, and all the work that we do every day to support young entrepreneurs across the continent. I think I just want to echo the message at the end of the film. If you've been trepidatious about whether now is the time to invest in or support a young entrepreneur, please do not wait any longer. The time to start is now. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Josh. And I just would also like to make a sincere correction there to one of our judges, the woman that we had up here, is of course Bita Diomande. Je suis désolé, c'était la mauvaise information et c'était ma responsabilité. Merci. Merci. All right, now for that big moment.
Right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Again, the prize in the Anzisha Prize Gala. We want to announce the finalists. No, we want to announce the winners of the 2018 Anzisha Prize. Now, just a word of affirmation to all 20 finalists. You're no longer finalists. You're now fellows of the Anzisha Prize. You have access to a remarkable network. Use each other. Be friends. Stay connected. Work. Let's develop this continent together. And whoever wins the prize tonight, you're all winners, like we said before. So, again, if we can call upon Josh and Kofi to join us as we announce the winners of the grand prize.
As well as Sim. Mr. Shagaya.
Right.
Need you up on stage here, sir. All right, so it's been a bit of a nerve-wracking, sweat-palming evening for me because they've been in my pocket all along. And each time I pull out something from my pocket, I'm just hoping they don't just sprawl everywhere, especially because we're standing right next to them. But ladies and gentlemen, our three winners. Our second runner-up will be getting prize money of $12,500 US dollars. Joan Nalubega. You might want to sit, yes. Our first runner-up tonight will be walking away with 15,000 US dollars. Alhaji Siraj Ba. What a king. Congratulations, Alhaji. Congratulations, Joan. Now we find out who our grand prize award winner is. And that person will be walking away with $25,000 US for their business, which is a staggering amount of money to get started. It is, and I hope you have had the conversation on social media. This person's doing some unbelievable work, delivering life-saving blood to Cameroonians. Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Bime!
Good evening, everybody. My name is Melissa Bime. For anybody who watched me pitch yesterday, I'm the girl that cried. And I swore I was not going to cry again, but I don't know. Today, I stand here to represent every young girl out there that just has her dreams. And I stand here to represent all these amazing young people I've been a part of for the past week. Guys, I cannot say how much spending time with you all have meant to me. We all have something bad to say about our countries, obviously, and I think that with these people that I have been a part of, the future of Africa is very bright. We are going to change this continent, and we are going to look good doing it. Thank you. Thank you very much to the Anzisha team. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. This is my third time applying for this competition. Wow. And I mean, like, I don't know what to say, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Congratulations are in order. I can literally hear all Cameroonians rooting for you and screaming your name right now, Melissa. Well done. Congratulations.
Melissa.
And with that, we have reached the end of our formal proceedings. It's been a wrap. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting you this evening alongside Maps. How have you felt? What's it been like?
It's been absolutely fantastic. Actually, I got a bit of goosebumps getting to go through all of that and listening to Melissa talk and knowing of all the work that she is doing in Cameroon to save lives through blood. And it's been a really special night. It's an amazing prize to be a part of. It's an amazing fellowship to be a part of. And it's really encouraging that we continue to do work such as this on the continent. And thank you very much to our judges. Thank you very much to the audience for coming. Thank you very much to each and every one of our finalists. You can all give yourselves a big round of applause. Let's continue to do this work. And let's keep investing in young entrepreneurs now. Start investing in young entrepreneurs and just keep pushing them as much as possible.
Right, and at this moment, if we can ask all members of the press to proceed to the Osaze Osifu room in the Learning Commons foyer, where you'll be having a press conference. It starts at 9:30 p.m., so please hurry up. And if you don't know where the Osaze Osifu room is, please follow Ms. Kangisile at the back, who is waving her hand fervently.
All right, and from that's it from us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Hope you have a great night. Look after yourselves. And please have fun, be merry. There will be drinks outside for our audience here. And also please remember that Uber is than bail. Thank you.